Welcome to Daily Joy, where every movie is a story waiting to be relived. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe and like, also a comment would be much appreciated. Be aware that this video contains spoilers, so proceed with caution. Before we dive into today's recap, go down in the comments and tell me if you like the background music or anything else you're thinking. I promise to reply to your comment in maximum 10 minutes and 24 seconds. The best comment from last video is from AnnetteMr6518. I'm so glad you liked the video. Your comment and support means a lot. Now, let's continue with our video. The enigmatic Dr. Voyan has created a new experiment which offers couples $5 million if they remain inside a pristine room for 50 days. If one of them leaves, the prize decreases to $1 million. There is no contact with the outside world and no entertainment, just each other's company. However, they can obtain treats by purchasing them with a portion of the prize money. Today's couple is Mike and Kate, who believe it will be effortless cash. Mike believes they've been incredibly fortunate to discover this place, and Kate views it as the opportunity for a fresh start they truly deserve. However, she also suggests that perhaps they should divide the money to simplify matters. Her plan is to invest the money, which Mike thinks is so boring. He imagines his future as partying and enjoying life without ever having to worry about money again. Upon hearing the AI voice remind them of the rules, they explore the area and realize they weren't joking when they referred to it as immaculate. All is white, and the only two objects present are a bed and a bench. There is a simple bathroom, which rules state they can only enter one at a time, a red button they can use if they wish to leave, a touch screen where they can request treats, and a large clock above the exit door that counts down the time remaining in the experiment. Their meals are prepared to meet their daily nutritional needs and are simply tasteless white shake that comes in a white carton. The room features automatic lights that change throughout the day to signal morning, afternoon, evening, and when night falls, indicating it's time to go to bed. The touchscreen enables them to configure an alarm clock, and while Mike intends to view this as a vacation and sleep longer, Kate establishes an early alarm to maintain some sense of routine. As they settle down for the night, Mike wants to start something with Kate, but she feels anxious about the possibility of being observed by the professor. Since Mike insists, they ultimately do it quietly. When morning arrives, Kate heads to the toilet to stare at herself in the mirror and repeat a few words of affirmation to uplift her spirits and keep her goals clear. Once they both shower, they toss their clothes into the bathroom's laundry chute, and in return, they get very simple pajamas. To occupy her mind, Kate attempts to theorize why Voyan is conducting this experiment, prompting Mike to share details about the documentary he watched regarding this individual's earlier experiment that concluded with a blue-collar family facing tragedy. Nobody understands why Voyan did all this. They only know he possesses enormous fortune and enjoys using it to place people in extraordinary situations because he is fascinated by human behavior. Keeping themselves entertained turns into a challenge faster than they anticipate. Kate enjoys meditating while Mike often stares at the clock. Sometimes, he goes on philosophical angles about various subjects, such as the meaning of the color white, which he analyzes with all his art school knowledge, or the direction in which they should be brushing their teeth. Kate consistently reminds him not to stare at the clock and keep his mind on the prize, but it's challenging to think positively when Mike even struggles to sleep well. Kate maintains her routine of affirmation words and making the bed. She also aims to boost Mike's spirit. When Kate meditates, Mike attempts exercising, primarily through running. They play hand-clapping games, Marco Polo, or even dance together. Whenever they remove their filthy pajamas, they're provided with another pair that looks exactly the same. A few weeks have passed, and finally, something different happens. Mike finds a bug that has sneaked inside the room. After talking to it like to a baby, Mike tries to feed it some of the meal shake he has, but as soon as he pours some drops on the floor, the AI voice reminds them that food can only be used for consumption by the contestants. Concerned about the bug not living it in there, Mike asks for a way to let the little guy out, assuring he doesn't want to quit himself. Kate explains to him that the AI voice doesn't seem to be allowing him to do that, leading Mike to decide he's going to push the button to open the door. This initiates a fight since Kate is convinced that pushing the button will lead to their loss, even if Mike simply presses the button for a silly bug without actually departing. After putting the insect down, Mike tells Kate the bug is a living being and that she has no compassion, so Kate accuses him of being rude because she isn't vegan like him. As the argument escalates, Kate ultimately admits she believes Mike is only vegan to provoke his wealthy father who provided Mike with everything he wanted. Then, Kate attempts to walk away from this conversation, but she ultimately steps on the bug, and Mike struggles to believe her when she claims it was an accident and offers an apology. Mike spends the rest of his day frustrated in a corner until he finally decides he's had enough. Doing nothing is just not healthy. Since each of them can take 2 treats, Mike is going to ask for one even if he takes out $100,000 off their prize. Kate disapproves, however Mike requires no permission from her, and his treat turns out to be just a single green crayon. It's not a lot, but at least now Mike can draw his art on the walls. After watching him draw for a while, Kate requests him to draw her, and Mike agrees. However, he refuses to create realistic portraits because they're boring. He prefers to stick to his style, causing Kate not want to be his model anymore. Mike draws until there's no more crayon left, annoying Kate by leaving green stains all over the bathroom and the towel on the floor. Later, Kate apologizes for having behaved badly and explains this is harder than she thought, but at least they only have 20 days left. Days drag on in monotony until one morning, Kate wakes up to discover a gun in the bathroom. They feel too afraid to check if it's loaded, and its presence is disturbing, so they decide to put it beneath the bed since the AI prohibits them from dumping items that aren't clothing in the laundry chute. Eventually, the couple is finally rewarded with Connect Time, which will play for them messages sent by their loved ones. Mike receives a message from his sister, who shares how she and their parents are doing, but she also believes Mike isn't dating Kate anymore. His sister brings Mike immense joy, however Kate is hesitant to see her own connection and feels panic when the screen displays a video of her dad, who is finally off the streets and residing in a homeless shelter. As the video continues to play despite her appeals, Kate rushes to hide herself behind the toilet entrance, overwhelmed with tears, while Mike approaches to make her feel better. After sleeping stuck to her boyfriend, Kate doesn't get up when the alarm announces the morning and remains in bed all day as she's gave up to a depressed state. When Mike shares his concerns, Kate reveals that she hadn't seen her father in years and had always lied to Mike about his identity because she felt ashamed of her dad and how he lost the house, her school fees, and her opportunities for a normal childhood. With just a little over 2 weeks remaining, Kate remains in bed while Mike seeks new ways to entertain himself, such as altering his drawings by smudging the crayon with his fingers or reading the pajama label in as many ways as possible, practicing his acting. He attempts to make Kate eat by splitting some jokes about the food, but it's ineffective, so he ultimately joins her in bed in hopes of comforting her. It still doesn't work, and Mike occasionally chooses to sleep on the floor just to experience something different. One morning, he attempts to persuade Kate to accept a treat, but she declines to lose money. Feeling more and more annoyed, Mike expresses his doubts about being able to continue, which ultimately motivates Kate to rise from her bed. Before she takes a shower, she tells Mike to take his second treat, even if it costs $250,000. Mike does so and is stunned to see the door open, letting. Alright, let's hit pause. Before we move on, I need you to hit like and subscribe. No, seriously, I'm not going anywhere until you do. Done? Let's go. A naked woman called Simone enters the room. She doesn't know anything about the project. She's simply an actress getting paid for an appearance that required signing numerous NDAs, and although she was booked for a month, her agent mentioned she's likely staying for just 24 hours. Kate isn't enthusiastic of her presence and insists that Mike give her his t-shirt so Simone can cover up a little. Simone sees Mike's art and compliments it, even recognizing its origin, which angers Kate even more. As night falls, Mike volunteers to sleep on the floor while the girls take the bed, and Simone offers to stay awake while they sleep. Kate feels irritated by their effort at politeness and settles that they can all share the bed as long as she takes up the middle position. That night, Kate has trouble sleeping. In the morning, Kate doesn't see Simone on the bed and assumes she's gone, but in reality, she's in the bathroom. Unable to deal with it any longer, Kate chooses to enjoy it and gets a small box containing 3 magic pills. Kate quickly takes one and gives one to Simone. After a moment of insecurity, Mike ultimately decides to take one too. The 3 of them start dancing and flailing around the room, and they also share a few group kisses. However, after a while, Mike starts experiencing a bad trip, seeing blood everywhere and dreaming he's underwater while watching his younger brother fall with him. The women pull Mike back to reality, however he's still in a panic, asking to leave and bringing up something about Sean and drowning. Kate must pull him back to bed and calm him until he falls asleep. Afterward, Simone asks what Mike had been talking about, and Kate tells her that Mike's little brother, Sean, drowned in the family's pool while Mike was supposed to babysit him, which still makes him feel guilty to this day. Mike had been under the influence when it happened, which adds to the injury and explains why he had been unwilling to accept the pill. Simone also asks how they met, and Kate recalls with warmth how on a rainy day, she had no umbrella and Mike approached her, offering to shield her. When Mike finally wakes up, Simone shares that she lost her mother when she was a kid, and the 2 of them connect over sadness and lost loved ones. Simone takes Mike's hand to comfort him, and when Kate sees them, she loses it, thinking Simone wants to take her boyfriend. Simone confronts her attitude, pointing out that Kate reacts aggressively due to her own insecurities, which ignites a fight. Mike yells at them to stop before walking away, so Kate tries to apologize, admitting it was probably nothing that she saw, but Simone fans the flames by saying maybe it wasn't. The next morning, Mike isn't feeling well, but Kate is focused on other things. Simone is finally gone, but there's also a message from her left on the wall in green crayon, thanking Mike for a wild night. Kate freaks out, ignoring Mike as he tries to explain he hasn't done anything and this is like the gun, something the room is manipulating to mislead them. In her fury, Kate shoves Mike to the ground, causing him to injure his head and bleed. Mike steps away from her, reminding her that he's never cheated on her even when she moved to New York. He also stopped seeing his so-called rich friends not to make her uncomfortable and didn't finish college to stay at home with her when she was depressed. However, all he gets in return is jealousy. Crying, Kate keeps apologizing, but their conversation is cut short when Mike starts feeling dizzy from the wound. He genuinely believes he requires a doctor, but Kate offers him some of the meal shake so he can add some sugar to his system and wraps his wound with a towel, reminding Mike that the contract specified they don't have allowance for medical intervention. Mike is in shock over what he's hearing, and he begins to question if Kate truly cares. His wound turns out to be small and it eventually stops bleeding, but he is worried of how far she might have gone if it had been worse. Perhaps she might have let him bleed for money. Disgusted by what this place has done to them and understanding that money won't heal their fundamental issues, Mike chooses to leave, encouraging Kate to join him. Kate refuses, highlighting that it's simple for him to speak this way since he always had money, and she even grabs the gun to intimidate him into remaining. Even so, Mike disregards her and pushes the button, ultimately exiting the room just few days before success. After a lot of resting and freaking out in the shower, Kate notices the raindrop drawing on the wall, motivating her to head towards the button as she considers her options with just 2 days remaining. Many months later, a new single Mike is going for a run when he sees Kate coming out of a building, after visiting her father. They haven't seen each other since the room and decide to go for a walk to chat and catch up, but when Mike asks Kate if she left the room or won, she avoids the question. At least, she does offer an apology for what happened. As they walk away, the building reveals itself to be the homeless shelter, which has a board stating an anonymous donation helped them construct the new kitchen. Meanwhile, in the pristine room, a new couple arrives to embrace the challenge. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like, share and subscribe button to my channel to see more videos like this.